you can see by all the junk on the table, I've been pretty busy today. This wing is just about ready to start doping. I have to finish up the inboard wingtip and the wingtip weight box. So I thought that while I'm doing this wingtip weight box, I would show everybody how I do it the easy way. First thing I do is get some 3/16 and I cut it the width of the weight box. It's real simple, and it it makes a nice clean install. And hold it up there, and we're just going to glue it on. I'm going to use the thick set CA on this. We'll take the top off first. These are just a light ply box. I don't know why they're made out of light ply. It's you're going to put some weight in it anyway. Anyhow, put on some thick set CA. Glue the box on it like so. No big deal. Take and cut about 3/4 of an inch up from the box. Cut it off. And I'll explain to you why in a second. So it looks like that. And now we're going to do the same to the other side. You know, building these airplanes, it's all about knowing the shortcuts, and hell, I forgot so much stuff, it's ridiculous. Okay, so we have that. We're going to cut the other side. And I'm sure there'll be somebody say, oh, you can't do it that way. Well, that's the reason for the video. So here we have it. It's glued like this. Now I'm going to shut the camera off and take it over on the belt sander and sand it up. I'll be back in a second. Okay, here it is sanded off. It's nice and flush there, and I've squared it all up. We're going to add the second piece of wood, which is this piece right here, or the third piece of wood. And we're just going to take it, add some thick set CA on the wood. Make sure you go up and down the uprights that you just put on it. You want a nice good join on that. So now we have it glued on like so. And we'll cut that off. So we have a box like this. The install part is the neat part, and I'll show you why. So we're going to glue the last piece on it. Make sure you get all the joints well glued up. So now we have a box like this. And we'll cut this off. And literally, when I say I'm going to shut the camera off, matter of fact, I won't shut the camera off. I'll just let it run to show you how long it takes to clean this up. I don't want to take the camera over by the belt sander. You can do this by hand, but I have a belt sander, so we'll make it easy. Okay, I'm going to go over to the belt sander and clean this up. And I'm going to let the camera run so you get an idea how long it takes.
Easy belief is needed 'cause it's all you know.
Okay, it took, I don't know, maybe a minute. I don't know, but it's, I'll dress it all up. It doesn't matter anyway, because the top is going to be cut off anyhow. Anyhow, we have the plywood box down, and now we have 3/16 sides all the way around. So the next thing we need to do is we need to make a lid for it. And there's the lid, no problem. So I want to have a nice lid. I have a real good piece of wood over here on the saw. Okay, in the last segment of the last clip, because this will be edited, I had a screw up. I couldn't get a hole through a piece of wood to look very good. And this is my Nats model, so I want every detail to be, you know, right in there. So what I did was I found a piece of brass instead of the aluminum tube I had, resharpened it, and I drilled a hole clean all the way through it. It's nice and clean. So I cut that block of wood off of there, and we're going to center it up. Let's make sure we use the thick set this time. We're going to center it up on the hole there. There we have it. Finally. Okay, so I'm going to go to the belt sander, and I'm going to clean this up. I'll cut that off on the bandsaw and clean it up. Only take a second. I'm sure there's probably, you know, a dozen other ways to do this. This is just my way. So now I have the top. We'll see if we can get the bolt in it to, I mean, I've done it this way for years. So the bolt's hanging out. We're going to stick it in there, and hopefully we can find the hole. Now there is a trick you can do in the bottom of this with a dowel, and I might do that after something to guide the bolt into the hole. Because it can be a little tricky to find the hole. That feels like it. It is. Okay, so now we have this assembly together. You can adjust the clearance around the door as you go. But this is how I do it, and what we're going to do now is we're going to excavate the hole and bury this in the wing. So let's see if we can get the camera to stay there, and we'll zoom in. There we go. Okay, this is the top of the wing. Don't make the mistake like some guys do and put it on the top of the wing. Okay, so the camera's positioned now. I'm going to turn this over. Now, you want to try to keep your weight box as close to the leading edge as you can. However, there's just not a whole lot of room in that. So, and put it out as far as you can. Now we have the grain on the door running this way. You want to keep the grain all directional. I try to square it up with the trailing edge. I just poke the bolt down through it, no big deal. Because we're going to cut a gaping hole here now. And it's right on top of the rib. I sure hope that's move it back just a little bit. I might have to make a custom tip box by the looks of it, because it might be too tall. But nonetheless, we're going to cut a hole right there and deal with it from there out. So I've got it marked. Take a number 11 X-Acto blade. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I can't watch. Ah, boy. Slip. Be careful not to do that. Now we got a fixer. So we excavate out this hole and take the rib out. I'm bummed out about that little spot right there. Nothing I can do. So we got to figure out how to sand this out. I kind of put a big slit right there. I guess I can push that back and just CA it. Yep. Fill her up with super fill. So now I got to get that box to fit in that hole. So just take your time. Tighter the joints, the better the airplane. Not only that, the lighter the airplane, tight joints means less glue. Oh. There we go. Almost. Well, you kind of get the drift where we're going with this anyway. Looks like I need to sand the front edge of this off. So it's hitting the sheeting on the top, so we'll do that. And we want to get that down in there as far as possible. It's definitely going to go in there far enough. So what we need to do now is mix up a little bit of 5-minute epoxy. Remember, we don't care if we use quite a bit of glue out here because, hey, we got to add weight anyway. So, do try to keep these joints tight though. So you would think that I'm going to epoxy that in there. Well, I'm not. I'm just going to epoxy the nut on the back side of it. So that's another thing. When you do these places that you can't get at, and there's blind nuts, make sure that you epoxy the nut down. I have had airplanes where I've had to chase around the nuts. It's seated all the way to the bottom, resting on both spars. We're going to take some 105 thin set CA, wick it down there. Ooh, almost got glue in the door itself. Oh. Getting too rambunctious there. Anyway, now let's take the door off, make sure I don't have it glued down. Nope, I missed. Okay. Okay, so we don't have it glued down. Should be alright. We'll go back in and we'll glue this after it's sanded up and the video's over. So there you have your wingtip weight box in there. 80 grit is what I use. Before I take it back. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the 80 grit and finish it off. And then 320 to smooth it out, and we're done. But you notice it didn't take all day to figure out how to get a nice wingtip weight box in there. The whole project took, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Had more time trying to find wood than a drill bit. So I just had it. Here it is. I always take a pen and put an arrow on this door. Mark it. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how it works, but I just usually put an arrow on it. Pen. There we go. Arrow. So that's it. That's how I install a wingtip weight box. Makes a nice clean install. Now you can take a dowel, drill it, cut a cone in it so that it makes it easier to catch the screw. I don't have any dowel material here, I don't believe. No, I don't. So we won't be doing that now, but in the future, if I have a problem getting down and off, I will make the dowel capture apparatus, and I'll show you how that works.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but we're not going to have a problem. You don't really take these on and off that much. At least I don't. I mean, there's guys that are always trimming, whatever that means. I just get the proper amount of tip weight in it, and I'm done. One time. So we have a little bit of raise there. Get 320. I don't want to sand too much on this because it's all molded. The leading edge is molded, so what that does, it ends up putting flats in it. Plus this wood is soft, so we'll sand it after it's doped. I got a high spot there. So it's going to take a little putty. Anyway, that is the wingtip weight box. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next round. See ya!